If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can see all of Nicole's work at typingwhentipsy.wordpress.com. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, MikeMercado2333.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
another day at the office, I get to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones,
Orlando, how you doing, buddy?
Hey, sir. I'm good, brother. How you doing?
and all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.
Welcome back to another episode of The Good Brothers. I am Alex. That is Mike. I still do not have a voice. And Mike, you were just in Indiana, so I think you
won that scenario right there.
I think you're winning. I feel more bad for you, honestly.
Yeah. Well, happy Thanksgiving, good brother. We are doing this, guerrilla warfare style. We are downstairs in the basement of the Wilfredo Rosal compound, and we are doing this guerrilla warfare style. And I hope you guys are each having an awesome time together. Good brother, there's some news drop. Go figure. Normally when we record this show is Tuesday nights, and today is Thursday, and a certain movie company decided to drop a little something today. Why don't you let the good people know about it, talk about it?
So the middle of the Cowboys game of the first quarter, between the first and second quarter, they dropped the Lion King trailer. And of course, they're not going to hear the animals talk yet. And it's basically just the opening to the movie, and it looks fantastic. They give you the cast, and the cast is as A-list as you could ever be.
Right.
So, I mean, it looks great.
Yeah.
You got Beyonce in there.
Donald Glover.
Seth Rogen's my personal favorite.
Seth Rogen's in it. We also saw James Earl Jones is going to be voiced. Obviously, it's Mufasa. It's the first thing that we hear is him talking over it. It looks. What's funny is, like, as great as the Jungle Book looked, it looks like obviously just a few. They've in the few years that they've had that it looks really good. Like they've done a great job of the technology of. As great as Jungle Book was, it looks better, and that's crazy.
Favreau's been working on it. That's something he's been very open about, is working on that. So, and this one just feels so much more important because Mom's the one that yelled at. She's like, "Hey, are you watching the game?" I'm like, "No." She's like, "Hey, it's the trailer's on." I'm like, "Oh, snap it over," and then I watched it again.
Yeah,
make sure I didn't miss anything.
Because it broke on Twitter. I think it was the young Simba. He's the one who posted up that the trailer was going to be dropping today because we didn't hear anything yesterday.
That was only an hour ago, too. So it dropped almost when they announced that it was going to drop, and then it dropped within the hour. So that's kind of crazy.
I think it's really interesting that they didn't really go hard in on letting us know it was going to happen, because I even messaged you when you sent me the alert. I didn't read the bottom that it said it was going to drop within that day, but I was wondering, I'm like, well, what's coming first, Avengers 4 or Lion King? And Disney just really low-key, go silent, just said, here's the trailer for this one on Thanksgiving. No hype, because when a Star Wars trailer comes out during the holiday, they give us a heads up. They're like, hey, at some point during your holiday, this trailer is going to drop. We had no idea that the Lion King teaser trailer was going to drop.
No, I mean, you and me are in this. We're in the industry. And I think it's funny because we know about this, so we're excited. But to see someone like our mother or some of these younger kids who are posting about it now, talk about, now they know it's out there. Because what's everyone doing right now? Normal non-Hispanic people.
Right.
They're eating dinner.
Yeah, they're
finishing dinner. They're getting dessert.
Mm-hmm.
They're about to go Black Friday shopping. They're watching the game, and boom, it just pops up. Mm-hmm. Here's our cast, all your favorites. If you're a Seth Rogen fan, if you're a Beyonce fan, if you're, a Donald Glover fan, which we are, it's cool. Like, it shows how confident they are, and that's going to make a lot of money.
Yeah, it's going to make a ton of money.
All the monies.
All of it. And so it was really good stuff. I obviously fell in love with the trailer. It's one of those moments where you realize that we're living in a different world when it comes to technology. Like, it's just a different world we're living in.
Jon Favreau is king.
Yeah, so we know it's coming out July of 2019.
Yep.
So it's around the corner, and Disney just it has a stranglehold right now in pop culture and the movie industry. Just some interesting stuff what they're doing, and the way that they're promoting everything, the way they're setting everything up. It's just they don't put their eggs in one basket.
No.
They don't. Like, most companies would rely on the MCU or the remakes that they're doing now of these live action remakes, but they're like, no, they're spreading the love around, and there's never a time where you feel like one thing is the only time a property is dominating anything is when it's making its theatrical run.
Yeah.
Like, that's the only time Disney really leans on anything. Otherwise, they go pretty. They just go hard on everything they have. It's at a time. It's like, all right, right now it's Lion King time. And
I mean, look at next year. You're gonna have so end of this year, Mary Poppins. So listen, that's how they're gonna end the year.
Yeah.
Then you still have Captain Marvel. Then you have Avengers. You have a Star Wars movie. You have the live action Lion King and Dumbo
and Aladdin.
So
like they crush it. And what's
they're putting out 3 mega movies for 3 different fields in the same year.
And what I find fascinating is like when maybe a little bit before we started the show, and this is the anniversary show, by the way, everybody. The Thanksgiving episode is the anniversary episode of The Good Brothers. So, but before we even started the show, the talks were always that they were going to make these live-action remakes, and at this point now in history, Aladdin's in the can, Lion King's in the can, Jungle Book came out to awesome praise,
Dumbo's in the can.
Like, we live in a world now where all 4 things finally happen. Like, there was a point where, like, how are they going to do this? Why are they doing this? What is going on here? And we're at a point now, it's like, we want more. What's next? What's on the horizon? What is the next thing Disney's going to bring to us?
Toy Story 4.
We could get into Toy Story 4. We talked a little bit about it on the last episode. We did not mention the key and Peele. No, we did mention the key, but something else happened.
No,
came out with it. Yes,
Keanu Reeves.
Thank you. Yes,
has now been said to be he's voice acting somewhat.
And they're saying it's supposed to rival the Buzz Lightyear character, Tim Allen's Buzz Lightyear character, which means in coolness and what his character is going to bring as an action hero. So that's interesting. And you know what? That's a name that I never would have thought I wanted to see in Toy Story. But now that I've heard it, I'm like, oh, well, yeah, like Keanu should be in Toy Story.
I want to see Neo everywhere.
Yeah, so very interested. And again, there's another Disney property that they own that with Pixar that they're going to drop and it's going to crush in 2019. Like, it's not even a question.
What do you got? You got Frozen 2 eventually, and a little bit after that. Wreck-It Ralph, obviously, this weekend we're going to see Wreck-It Ralph. We're going to see Creed. We're going to check out some movies. I might check out some other ones, some of the lower-end ones like Green Book or Boy Erased. I kind of want to see one of those.
So why don't we talk a little bit about what we're going to go see tonight? We're going to go see the premiere of Creed 2. This is obviously the sequel to Creed in the line of the Rocky movies. Michael B. Jordan coming out huge in this one. We still have Sylvester Stallone. What are you expecting from this movie?
I mean, just from the early reviews they've gotten, because it dropped Tuesday.
Yeah.
Because Thanksgiving.
Holiday.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah.
It's going to be like Rocky 4.
Sure.
But with a little more depth, just a little bit. But I don't think this is like the next coming of that Oscar movie.
No,
I don't think it needs to be.
Yeah, I definitely think this. The Creed one was the establishment. That was the critic hit. That was the moment that legitimized Michael B. Jordan as a serious actor. It legitimized that franchise. This movie, I think, is showing off the talents of Michael B. Jordan, but also just showing the how lucrative Creed can be, that it is a real series, and that it's a little bit of both. It could be taken very seriously, and it can also be a blockbuster hit. I think it's going to be exactly what we want. You can only be so lower of a quality film when you have Tessa Thompson and Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, so like the movie's going to be good regardless.
I think it's the most pet project because he's doing his Rambo. He's filming it. He wrote this one and directed it.
He helped direct it.
Wrote it, or is he directing?
No, he's not directing it. Yeah.
I think he's kind of at the end of his career. What am I thinking of? Swanton. He's about to really take a big dive. So I think that's going to be good. I'm excited for Wreck-It Ralph. I heard great things. I want to see if they're going to beat The Incredibles money-wise. It's going to be tough.
That, you see, I don't know. I think my biggest problem with Wreck-It Ralph 2 right now is the fanfare is not where I thought it was going to be comparative to... And I just think it's because it fell in the holidays, so it's going to make a lot of money, but there's so many things coming out right now that I think this movie deserved its own spotlight, but it is counter-programming to Creed. Like, it is in its own realm, and I guess it's hard, though, because we're right into the Spider-Verse. So, like, we've had this conversation all show long over the last year about what animated movie was going to dominate at the box office, whether it was going to be The Incredibles, whether it was going to be Wreck-It Ralph, or whether it's Into the Spider-Verse. And it was definitely not The Grinch. But we'll find out tomorrow whether or not Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet is a worthy successor of what was an underrated film in Wreck-It Ralph, the first one. I think the first Wreck-It Ralph is so underrated. Yeah, it does not get enough love.
And I don't know why. Honestly, I think it's so charming for everyone.
Yeah.
And I love it.
I agree.
My favorite Pixar Disney.
Yeah, when it comes to that style from that studio, yeah, I agree. And I think this one's supposed to have some amazing cameos and amazing like little Easter eggs. So I'm super excited about that. But strong weekend with Creed and Wreck-It Ralph Breaks the Internet coming out this weekend, and then just looking down the barrel, we have Aquaman, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse, and then obviously Mary Poppins. Like there is a lot of stuff still coming out, and we're ready Thanksgiving Day.
We got some Oscar movies too. We got the Christian Bale, Dick Cheney movie.
Yeah, that's going to be by Adam McKay.
Hugh Jackman's movies coming out too. I mean, it's exciting. Like, it's fun when it's Oscar season and the blockbusters are kind of at the same time.
Yeah, and we could really start making our judgment. I mean, we try our best not to get too excited, but, like, we're ready in November, and, like, I still don't feel so much swayed like I have other years where by this time I'm like, oh, okay, you can already kind of tell where things are going. I have no idea. I still think you bringing up the Oscars. I still think Black Panther has a legit shot, which is crazy. In November, it still has a puncher's chance. I don't think it's going to, but it has a puncher's chance.
What side are we on? I feel like you and me switch sides sometimes because we really love the movie. So
I think it was going to. I guarantee. I thought number 10 was its spot regardless. Whatever was going to happen.
I said it wasn't.
Yeah,
okay.
and I feel more confident at this point that it's probably 8, 9, or 10.
Yeah,
I think like we've kind of. This year is, as much as we're saying like everything's been piled on right now with Wreck-It Ralph and Creed and all this, the year has been spread out pretty well. Like I've never felt like everything out of certain movies' ways, but pretty much everything's been spread out.
It was long. It was a long year. It feels like I forgot Avengers came out this year.
Yeah. I mean Avengers and Ant-Man came out this year.
Oh my god, Ant-Man.
You see what I'm saying? But like we thought like we were thinking like, oh, how are they gonna have all these movies all together? And like no, it all worked out. Like there were times where everything, even that new Bumblebee movie looks pretty decent, and it looks like they have some idea. They have some faith in it.
That's really going to be a test to see if it can really make the money it needs to. I'm glad Battle Alita moved out of the way. I really want it to be good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so do I.
But I don't know if it will be.
I mean, I'm hoping for it to be. Yeah, I agree.
I'm interested in Bumblebee. If it gets good reviews, I like the Transformers movies.
Yeah,
I'm that guy.
I'm not. I don't.
I like Mark Wahlberg.
I'm willing to like it.
I think it's fun. Mm-hmm. John Cena, I kind of want to see.
Yeah, I'm rooting for John Cena
because now we know he can do humor.
Yeah,
but can he do an action movie, a bad guy, or I don't know what he really is, honestly. Besides John Cena in the movie,
sure, he's probably more like a Josh Jamel in that movie. What did you think? Speaking of Thanksgiving, I talked about it on Sports from the Couch this past episode. Check it out in the archives on Mercado Airwaves. We Survivor Series, NXT Takeover, Raw, and SmackDown on Fox will be in Chicago for 4 straight days as Survivor Series takes over the Allstate Arena in 2019. Pretty cool stuff.
Which ones do you want to do?
I want to do TakeOver because I think that's going to be War Games. Okay. And I definitely want to do Survivor Series. But more, the one that's intriguing when it comes to not what's in the ring, but everything surrounding it is Friday Night SmackDown. Because it is, Friday Night SmackDown moves from USA to Fox in October of 2019. Yeah. Survivor Series is November of 2019. So literally the first major pay-per-view of SmackDown on Fox is going to be in Chicago that week. So I'm very excited to see how it's different. By 2019, Ronda Rousey may be a SmackDown a character.
I mean, it's very possible at this point. Let's see. I like TakeOver. Survivor Series kind of sucked. Raw.
Survivor Series okay.
I like the Raw's 3 hour solid now because you kind of can see the ending.
Yeah.
I never noticed how much that 13
minutes. Oh, dude, the 10-minute layover was some of the worst. Yeah. Sometimes it was 15, 20 minutes.
And SmackDown was pretty good. What do you think about Daniel Bryan turning heel?
I mean, I was okay with it. I think at this point, you got to always think about how Vince McMahon thinks of things. And he's like, oh, you want Daniel Bryan versus The Miz, babyface versus heel? He's like, no. This is what you really want. And it's one of those things where you better enjoy what you can. So if you want Daniel Bryan in the main event, and if you want Daniel Bryan to be taken serious by Vince McMahon, this is the way to it. And it's the same thing with Charlotte and Becky. Becky, if you didn't notice today on Twitter, Conor McGregor gave her a shout out. That's next level,
No, that's
dude.
good stuff. I
That's
saw
like
that.
next level.
And she's playing it up very
Dude,
well.
she's a monster. She's a
good.
beast.
I like where they're going with all this
I
stuff.
like Charlotte.
I do too. I like SmackDown. I think SmackDown's great.
What did you think about I talked about this on the show. Like, obviously, you know, I cover MMA. I do all the interviews. The one person I'll let you guys in behind the fourth wall. There's been 3 people who they've been denied interviews with. Straight up said they are not an option for you. They're not for you, Michael. I've been offered everybody, guys. Everybody under the sun in UFC and Bellator MMA. The 3 competitors. Conor McGregor, Brock Lesnar, Ronda Rousey were not for me. They did not let us ever be into them. But one thing that I've always heard from my people, from my inside sources, is that Ronda's a very nice woman. But she doesn't handle certain, and I'm sure you guys have heard this around, she doesn't handle certain things very well. She doesn't handle defeat very well. She's very much a competitor. She's very fiery. Like,
she's human.
She's very human. To an extent, because you still have to be professional. And I think she's very much a pro, but she's learning that this is still a work. That you have to, like, you can't take, like, you saw when she was walking out of Survivor Series, when she turned to a fan, she's like, "You're not a man." It's like, some people took that, to me, I took that as that was kayfabe. She wasn't taking that serious.
That's not her character.
But she hasn't earned that yet when it comes to people like me who I know Ronda from the UFC. I know Ronda who got knocked out by Holly Holm and by Amanda Nunes. Like, that's what I know.
Especially these athletes that come from other sports where we know everything about you going into this already.
Yeah.
So it's not like a Finn Balor where it's wrestling. Like, we really don't know much about it.
We don't know anything. We could just assume anything.
Yeah. Like, she was in the spotlight for so long.
Yeah.
You know, could you imagine, like, Ezekiel Elliott becoming, you know,
I mean, and that's the thing, though, right? Like, we knew everything that happens with any of these athletes, like, and we judge them accordingly, too. And, like, there is a difference, though. Like, I think the problem with Ronda right now is the fans love to hate. Fans love to hate, man. And, like, we're very fickle. Wrestling fans are very fickle, and right now the new hotness is Becky. The truth of the matter is Ronda has nothing to do with Becky. Nia Jax had something to do with Becky. But, like, I don't blame Nia Jax. Like they said, this isn't ballet, guys. Like, she got decked. And you know what's probably crazy? It was probably better for all 4 women. It was probably better for Charlotte. It was probably better for Becky. And it was probably better for Nia, because now Nia, for the first time in her career, has real heat. Yep. Becky, for the first time since this turn, has not just heat, but has sympathy. Charlotte now has an edge.
Back to her good stuff.
Yeah. And Ronda's in an interesting spot, because now Ronda is, what do we want to do with her? Can we go heel? Do we want to go 4 horsewoman? Or do we want to go complete babyface and we want her to overcome this?
I'm just glad she's good in the ring.
Yeah.
It helps
she's
that
so
you have
good in the ring, yeah.
options. Because if she wasn't, then this would not be an option. So the fact that she's so good at what she does, and her learning curve has been so good.
What's amazing
it helps.
Is the women's wrestling is more entertaining and much more compelling than anything the men are doing. Daniel Bryan, obviously they have there's talent there. And, like, whenever the matches are on, it's one thing. But, like, when I'm looking at wrestling gossip, or I'm looking at what the news was that day, or what's the plan for that day, I'm looking at, well, what's Charlotte up to? What's Ronda up to? What are they doing with Becky? Like, I want to know what the women are up to, because they're special. And, like, that's no SJW or anything like that. It's just legit. Like, they are the special part of WWE roster. Yeah, easily. What else do we have? Obviously, right now we're at the compound of Rosa and Wilfredo. We're actually watching Dallas versus Washington on Fox right now. 10-7 Dallas leads in the second half. Bears came up and won in Detroit. Their 3rd straight. No Mitchell Trubisky. If any of you guys missed the episode of Sports from the Couch, we did not have that breaking news. He literally was put on the injury report after we released that episode. So we knew once that happened, we knew he was going to play on short notice. What did you think about Bears? 13 days, 3 games, sweeping 2 divisional matchups and winning another division matchup in Minnesota, going 8-3, and now 10 days off, essentially. Probably won't have Mitchell the week coming back either. No. But how did you think about that game?
It was a good game. I thought it was a little boring at points, but I think it showed that, 1, they were a little tired, and 2, Trubisky actually does, you know, he's
an impact player.
He is. Mm-hmm. Like, you cannot, I don't like him personally. I think we wasted a draft pick. Or we could have.
I kind of turned a little bit on him,
but exactly, he's making me a believer. He's doing the right things to put himself in the right spot with a defense like that. Mm-hmm. I still think we're the best defense in the league.
Yeah,
so
in a league that has not much defense. Yeah.
So with Mitchell Trubisky, you know, we probably would have won that game a little easier.
Sure,
because there was a lot of plays that a more experienced quarterback could have made. But props to the backup, you know, winning the game.
Chase Daniel had a nice game, 2 touchdowns. Very interesting for them. 1 to Tariq Cohen. Tariq Cohen having a wonderful season.
Yeah, no, I hate him because I have Howard.
Yeah, I know. I'm playing against Tariq Cohen in a few leagues this week. So some fun stuff, though. What else do we got, good brother? I mean, it's Thanksgiving Day. I mean, we could be radio hacks and do some weird Thanksgiving stuff, but
shout out to Rose and Fredo, 31 years yesterday.
Yeah, our father posted yesterday that 31 years. Lots of backstory, but essentially 31 years of I'm not gonna say happy. I'm gonna say marriage, real marriage. But yeah, no. Shout out to them. Some really cool stuff, and yeah. I mean, I hope each and every one of you guys is having a good time doing the Thanksgiving thing. I know some people don't like the holidays, but regardless, if you don't like them, I hope you guys are at least having a good day off. And enjoying, enjoying yourself. Like, live your best life, guys. That's always my big thing. It's like, today, I've kind of had like a little bit of an annoying day breaking the fourth wall down. I didn't really get to watch the Bears game. I got to rewatch it now on later on tonight after Creed. Yeah. And, but all in all, family, health, there's going to be food. It could be worse. Yeah, I mean, and like, we get to talk to you guys. So, and it's kind of fun. We got to just break down this quick episode.
Yeah, I mean, 1 year, man. That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time. Did you think?
You didn't fire me.
Yeah, I tried too many times. You just wouldn't leave. What did you think, though? Our first episode, I mean, I know it's hard to go back in the archives when we recorded every single one of them, but what did you think, man, from the first episode till today? I mean, today's such a guerrilla-style warfare, and I feel like it's still better than the first episode.
Yeah, it's so much better, too. I mean, we just got so much more comfortable. Like, I think my first day was so hard to get used to the mics.
Yeah.
And trying to be a radio personality instead of like, well, we did this because our conversations were fun.
Yeah.
So just have a conversation instead of trying to be a radio guy, because you're never going to be a radio guy.
Did you ever
you're going to want to do?
Did you ever try to like keep up with me in that sense? Like, yeah.
I would try to pass you. I would try to do so many random things.
Yeah.
That weren't my job. I'm like, that's not what I'm here to do. I'm here because I have knowledge of these things we're talking about.
Is there an appreciation you get now when you listen to like a podcast or a radio station, or like when you listen to entertainment or media? Is there like a different appreciation you get now because you're on this side of the microphone?
And we're still in the early stages. So like now you look at like where we can be in 5 years. Like,
yeah,
it's only 1 year basically. You've been doing this for how many years now?
I mean, now I'm going on my 7th year.
What about the network?
The network has been over about 1.5 years now, almost 2 years.
Like, yeah, so it's a baby step.
Yeah, I mean, I remember when we first created the logo. The logo was supposed to look like it's the Mercado Airwaves, and the red lines, if you're looking at the logo right now, it's supposed to be like, imagine if you're looking at a bass, and the bass is drumming, and you can imagine the vibrations. Well, that's what it was supposed to be. It's like listening like the vibrations. But at this point, like, we're doing so many different multimedia things. And, honestly, the fun part about all this is just it doesn't feel like work. Like, there's times where it's tedious, just like anything else in life. It's like working out or whatnot. But the fact that we have one show that's about true crime, we have one show that's about pop culture, we have one show that's about sports, one show that's about, literature and life. And, like, we have so many more things that we're working on down the path than it's only 3.5 people.
I'm going to have a sexy talk show.
That's good, and it will be only on Patreon and only for people who don't wear pants, but I'm very interested to see where that show goes.
Not wearing pants right now.
He's not wearing pants. It's very awkward, but it's all right. I just took off mine, too. But I think that's it, good brother. We did 20 minutes on Thanksgiving. The Bears game is over.
I probably should go get dressed.
Probably should go get dressed
for dinner.
I've already ate once today. I'm going to eat a lot more. But, yeah, guys, we didn't really want to bore you. Not a lot of commercials, nothing like that. We just wanted to sit in, get something up there for you guys, and enjoy it. Yeah, good brother. I think we could head on home. Is there anything else we want to go do?
No,
yeah.
Get my.
So we will do our normal recording next Tuesday, and we will have an episode of The Good Brothers Thursday afternoon, maybe Thursday morning, depending on how I'm feeling, but Thursday afternoon for sure with our reviews. Yeah.
Review.
Hey, Alex is in the middle of Narcos, so that's very interesting. So, yeah, we didn't want to get too deep in it. We want to let Alex go ahead and recover a little bit, too, and we want you guys to only be listening to this while you're Black Friday shopping or whatever. Tune in for the next episode of Murder, Mysteries, and More. It is a Thanksgiving special episode. We have 2 really cool stories in there. I don't even know if cool is the right word, but we have 2 stories for you. Yeah, 1 cool story, 1 very sad story. But we have 2 stories for you on the next episode of Murder, Mysteries, and More. Check out Nicole's past episode of Typing When Tipsy. It was about diversity in literature. Very fascinating stuff, especially coming from a woman who's half Hispanic and half white, to talk about, like, writing about black people or Hispanic or Asians. Yeah. Very interesting on that. Yeah, very interesting. And then in the last episode of Sports from the Couch, we talked a little bit about Week 11 in the NFL, my thoughts about the Chicago Bears, and thank you for everybody who was sensitive enough to not make fun of me for almost breaking down, talking about the wildfires and the unfortunate shooting of Mercy Hospital. Yeah. But shout out to each and every one of you guys listening to us. All the love in the world from us here at Mercado Airwaves Network. But that's it, guys. Go enjoy turkey, cranberry sauce, all the fixings, and Take care of each other, love each other, drink a bunch of beer, and eat a bunch of food. Go Bears. Good brother, any last words?
Last word.
Let's do this. Happy Thanksgiving, everybody. We love you.
What's up, friends? Mike here from Mercado Airwaves. If you missed any one of our past interviews with amazing guests like future Hall of Famer and pound for pound best fighter in the world, UFC flyweight champion Demetrius Mighty Mouse Johnson,
It's another day at the operator to go out there and test my skill.
to award-winning producer, director, and actor Orlando Jones,
Orlando, how you doing,
How
buddy?
you, sir? I'm good, brother. How you doing?
and all the other interesting guests we've had on. Joining us today is director and writer David Ferrier.
Thanks so much, brother. I appreciate you having me on the show.
MMA legend Chael Sonnen joins us today.
Keep listening to your show. This is great. Thanks, my friend.
Just subscribe to us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. And while you're there, please like, review, and rate us, friends. It helps so much. We also have a Patreon for anyone who would like to support the show. Just visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves and see how you can get all of our interviews ad-free and before anyone else, and how you can get your business or company spotlighted on the show. Follow us on Twitter at mmercado2333. Like us on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. Subscribe to us on YouTube, youtube.com/MikeMercado2333. And if you would like to see what we're up to behind the scenes, follow us on Instagram, MikeMercado2333. Thanks for listening and all the support.
If you would like to support Mercado Airwaves, visit us at patreon.com/Mercado Airwaves. Find us on iTunes at Mercado Airwaves. Keep up to date with the show on Facebook at Mercado Airwaves. You can see all of Nicole's work at typingwhentipsy.wordpress.com. You can follow Alex on Twitter at Mercado21Alex. Follow Mike on Twitter at mmercado2333 and on Instagram, MikeMercado2333.